Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to start off the 30 days of Halloween with a spooky story to get us into the mood for everything I'm going to plan on doing this month, which is going to be a lot of scary videos. Not one every single day, but we're going to be getting into like creepypastas, Nuke's top 15, everything else. Ugh. Nuke's top 15 is actually like one of the very few things that actually frightens me, so I don't like Ghost, which is funny because the storytime video I'm going to be talking about today is about Ghost. So back in 2009, when we were doing Bleeding Rose Productions, and here's the thing, I've told this story a multitude of times. It has never changed, never once. I actually made a video about this on my original channel as well. But in 2009, me and my friends were making videos for a thing called Bleeding Rose Productions, which was exclusively on MySpace. And we had this bright idea for a video, like why not go look and film the spot where a hooker died? So we did. I was expecting to see Ghost or whatever. I'm like 18 at the time. I don't know any better. Young and stupid. We're like walking around, don't find anything. And then another one of my friends was like, well, let's go to the cemetery. You can't go into the cemetery at night, from what I understand. So we go. Um, there was, I think, 14 of us. There was a lot of us. And I was dating a girl named Hope at the time. And she was terrified to even fucking be there. Now, if you don't know this girl, which I know you don't, I don't know how she is now. And I'm sure she'll see this video at some point. Like, hi, Hope. I hope you're doing well. Um, so she used to do this thing where she would always respond to me if I asked her to, and if I pretended to fall, she'd like hurry up and catch me and all that cute stuff. But since the cemetery happened, she wasn't exactly the same for that day. But while we're walking around, everyone's like pointing around saying like, "Oh, I'm seeing orbs, I'm seeing this and that." I don't see shit. I'm sitting there with the camera like, I don't see fucking anything. I think everybody's like losing their mind or they're just scared or they're being like really hyperbolic or whatever. It's like really whatever. So we're up there like maybe 30 minutes, I think, and then we all get back in the cars and we go back to my house. So while we're there, no one noticed that we left my friend Matt back at the cemetery. We didn't realize this for, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes. But I remember somebody was like, oh, wait, what about Matt? And I was like, oh, fuck. So we get back in the vehicles, we go back to the cemetery. We don't see him. We look around for him. After a little bit, we find him on the side of the road, just kind of like this. So we're like, okay, hey, let's go. Like, come on. So I'm in the back of the truck with him and my roommate Blake White, and the whole time Matt's just doing this. He's like saying he's seeing shadows dart across the street, and I guess I'm on my phone texting. I think I was texting Hope. I was just like, uh-huh, sure, buddy. Like, I had ghost encounters and stuff before then, but I just kind of ignored everything because I feel like ignorance is bliss, and ghost and paranormal stuff actually really fucking frighten me. I don't like that shit, man. If I can't see you or know how to deal with you, I don't want to be a part of it. So, I'm still in denial at this point, and then like Matt's whispering and Blake's like he said he's seeing telephone poles expand and subtract. I'm like, okay, cool. We get back to my house. He starts saying, oh, there's something on the roof, and I was just like, uh-huh, sure. We get back into my house, and this guy named Thomas Farmer who was over there, he's just kind of like sitting on the couch, but it had a spider lamp. If you know what a spider lamp is, it's where it's like just a light with a bunch of like branched out lights, and you can kind of like adjust them where you want them to shine light at. But all the lights are just doing this. I'm just kind of like, all right, guys, stop it. This is getting dumb. Denial is a very powerful tool, my friends. It's a very elegant way to escape reality, and that's something I've always laughed and mocked at, if we're being honest. So while we're over there, that's when I noticed that Hope wasn't talking anymore. Now, like I said earlier, Hope was always just like, blah, 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 like chatterbox. I used to call her Snarf Snarf because she talked so much. And she wasn't talking anymore, and I couldn't get her to respond. Now, another thing you need to know is I lived in a really poor house. It was my very first house I ever lived in on my own as an adult. I had no money. I worked part-time at a pizza place, a dead-end job. All of us that lived in the house were just basically irresponsible. We weren't really adults, but we were adults. And the bathroom did not work. I don't remember if the toilets worked or the water even worked in the shower. I don't remember. I don't think it did. But another thing about the bathroom is if you shut that door, you're stuck in that bathroom. And there was no lights in there. I remember there was no lights. So Hope, for whatever reason, decided to go into the bathroom. Well, she shut the door and locked herself in there. Now, another thing about Hope is she's terrified of the dark. Apparently, she still uses nightlights from last I checked, and I think that's funny. Sorry, not making a dig at you, because I know you'll see this video at some point. But for me, I think it's just kind of interesting. But she started panicking or whatever and starts screaming, and I'm in there like freaking out because I'm like, that's my girl. Like, I gotta get her out of there. Like, what's wrong? I gotta protect. You know, like boyfriend mode kicks in. So I'm just like trying to get that door down. And finally, we get the door down, and she comes out. And she just clings onto me like a spider monkey. And I'm just kind of like, whoa, 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 come down, come down. She's like crying, still not talking. So, you know, I do what any logical, intelligent person does when they're 18 years old and don't know how to deal with something. You call the police. So I did. So I called the cops, and they showed up at the end of my driveway. So me and Hope went out there, and the cops like asking us like, "Are you on drugs? Like, what's going on? Like, what happened?" And at that point, Hope finally starts talking. I don't believe this shit was made up. I believe this is 100% what fucking happened, because this is my experience with it. If you don't believe me, I don't really give a shit. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you what happened. So Hope started talking, and I shit you not, it must have been like 20 or 30 seconds afterwards. You know, mind you, this is about 13, 14 years ago. I don't remember every little detail about the time periods and everything. I just remember the core story of what happened. But it must have been 20 or 30 seconds later. My roommate Blake comes running out the house, which I forgot to mention as well. I'm sorry. Matt also wasn't talking anymore after a certain point. He was just kind of grinning like an idiot. But Blake comes running out of the house and he runs up to us and he goes, Matt said she's not listening to him anymore. And it was at that fucking point I freaked out. And the reason, if you haven't caught on to it yet, I'm going to explain it to you why. Hope wasn't talking anymore. She told the cop something in her head was telling her that if she spoke, it would harm me. Spooky, right? Maybe. It depends if you believe in such things, but this did happen. Now, as soon as she started talking, that's when Matt decided to say she's not listening to him anymore because he was also quiet. So maybe something was telling them both. I don't really know. She'll probably comment on this at some point. I don't know when, but again, hello. And she might clear some stuff up on her end or whatever. I know last time I brought this up, she said she didn't want to talk about it, which is understandable, of course. But you know, this is just one of my favorite stories I have that's happened in my life because it actually frightened me quite a bit. I didn't act like it at the time, but I was pretty much like spooked out. Um, I just thought this would be a great way to start off for the month of October, of course. I've had other ghost stuff happen too. I might make more story times to explain about the different ghost encounters. I figured I did want to put it all in one video again like I did last time, but I don't know, I just don't think it'd be a good idea, I guess. And I know I keep scratching my nose for whatever reason, it keeps itching and I don't know what to do about that. But, I don't know, any ghost stories you guys want to clear or you guys care to share? Like, let me know down below. And as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay spoopy, my friends. Until next time.